Welcome to Story Goblin. Let's talk about characters. For starters, there have been some major updates to our characters. We've added 2 new resources and made them even more editable than before. There's also been a lot of questions about how our characters work, how to use them in a session, and can you solo play within Story Goblin? And the answer is yes, Story Goblin is great for solo RP. Let's jump into one of my adventures here and we'll show you. So I can scroll down to my characters and you'll see I have 4 characters, 3 of which are tagged as player characters. I can remember there's a new filter system, so I can toggle anything that's not a player character on and off. I can add more tags. If I have NPCs, merchants, whatever I want to do, I can tag them to fit my needs. I can also, if I have a list or if a lot of them, I can do that. But if I want to create a new character, I just have to hit this button here and I can add all of the stats here to create the new character. But let's dive into one of my current characters, Tavrik Mar. So the way character sheets work is these are all different resource components. So I've got trackers, which I've named progress bars, ability scores, secondary stats, currency. I've got my biography, secondary points, statuses, and there's even some more I'm not using. So I've got a resource pool that I'm just not using. For this, I would want to put like maybe, I don't know, we'll just call them daggers. I've got 4 daggers available or something like that. Whatever my resource pool I want to add, I can add them here. Of course, I can also just add this to items. I don't know why I would put this here, but I can do it whatever you want that fits your needs. And then I can reorder them. So if I want my ability scores at the top, or if I want to rename them for whatever reason, I can change the name. So I can make this editable to fit my needs. And then if I scroll down here, you'll see that we have a couple updates. So for starters, ability points now have a twin called secondary points. Secondary points are the exact same thing, but now you can separate them. So maybe you have your saves, initiative, bonus, and proficiency that you want to separate from your ability points and kind of put them near the bottom. Well, you can do that now. Now you can separate them. Also, ability points and secondary points have the ability to hide their individual modifier. So before you would have to toggle on and off the modifiers for all of them, but now you can just toggle them on and off for each individual point. So maybe if I want them on for initiative for whatever reason, I can do that. There's also now statuses. So statuses are anything that you want to turn on and off. So inspiration, bloodied, poisoned, or whatever the game system requires that you would want to turn something on and off with a checkbox, that's the place to use it. So I'll hit save and show you exactly how that works. So scroll down here, I can turn on and off like inspired or bloodied or something like that. So I can make this fit my needs. Then I can also go into inventory where I can add my items. So if I have a short sword, but I want to give it to another character, I can do that. So I can hit give and it will show up other characters within the campaign. So if I want to give this to Captain Drake, I can do that. It would take it from my inventory and give it to the other character. Some items may also have a value or uses. So uses are interesting. So let's say we'll call these daggers again. Let's say I have, I can update my quantity if I have 4 of them, or if my dagger has like a special use. So we'll just say it has like 5 charges for whatever reason. I can do that as well. You can see there's uses that pop up here. During my session, I can edit those uses. And then same thing for abilities. They work the same way as items. They have, instead of value, they just have uses. So let's dive into how these work in a session. So I'll join one of my current sessions, and at the top, you'll see my character is up here, but I'm on the wrong character. Well, I own 4 characters in my campaign. It depends on either you're the GM or if you as a player have ownership over more than one character, you will have this little switch characters button. So you can click this and I'll switch back to Tavrik Mar, and now I'm the person that I want to be. And now I can go through and I can edit these. Oh no, I lost 5, or I gained 5 HP. I hit the plus instead of minus. And then maybe I gained 5 daggers, or gain 4 daggers, I mean. It won't go any more than the max here, so you have to make sure you set the cap, whatever it is. Or I spent 1,000 gold, or I'm now suddenly inspired. So I can turn all of these on and off and edit them during the session. My inventory, I can go in here, I can edit different things. So if I gained another short bow, I can add that here. If I used my thieves tools, I can do that. Or if I want to give my daggers, I'll also give those to Captain Drake and just give Captain Drake all of my things. I can do that. I can manage my abilities here. If any of them have charges, or uses, I can add them here. I didn't have any on these abilities, but if they did, you can do that. I can also add new ones, add new items. If I got a new item, I can add it here. And so if, let's say, you're doing solo play, how would this work? Well, for starters, like I said, I can go in here and I can switch between characters if I have multiple characters, just like this. Or another trick you could use is using the tracker. So this is a combat tracker. It's intended to be kind of like initiative in Dungeons and Dragons. I can add my characters here. I can change their order. I can mark them as dead, or I can mark them as invisible. If I'm a GM and I want maybe like a monster to be invisible to my players, I can do that here. I can just mark it as hidden. It will show them a sort of black token with a question mark, and the name will be blurred out, just to add some mystery to the game. But what's nice is if you're doing solo play, you can use this as a quick way to toggle between characters. So let's say I'm taking my notes here, I'll minimize this, typing notes away, but if I want to toggle between any of these characters, all I have to do is click them, and it will pull up their drawer, just like that. I can open the drawer for any of them and make some edits. There's one more thing I want to show you. So if you want to switch ownership, let's say you built a character for one of your players as the GM, but you want to transfer ownership to them. Ownership gives them the ability to edit that character and pull them up during a session in their drawer. So if they don't own that character, then they can't use them during the session and they can't edit them at all. I'll show you how to do that. So I can go into Elliot Starr here, one of my characters, and I can hit the gear and hit transfer ownership. When I transfer ownership, I can transfer them to any character or to any player. So I transfer them to Tito. And now Tito owns that character. So if Tito wanted to join the session, they would be able to use that character just like this, and they would hit switch and they would appear in the switch character bar. That should cover everything, but there's plenty more that these characters can do. I kind of flew through it. So if you have any questions, just hop onto the Discord and ask away. This app is still very new, so we're developing new features all the time. Your feedback helps us a ton. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you on your next adventure.